Welcome to the first ever House of Heroes video. House of Heroes doesn't just want to entertain, it wants to inform. Get your entertaining history here. That's right, entertaining history, but also
history, not history.
First, we must pay homage to a true legend and hero, one who was robbed of an Oscar, Mr. Val Kilmer. Rest in peace, Val. Here's the mic. Subscribe for more entertainment.
He's such a brilliant actor, I love his work. And for him to come back and play that character, he's such a powerful actor that he instantly became that character.
One last thing. Who's the better pilot?
This is a nice moment. Let's not ruin it.
On behalf of House of Heroes, I'd like to go over many movies and interviews over the years.
Yeah, what was that actually like for you to make that movie? I mean, you nailed Doc Holliday. That's the best portrayal of Doc Holliday I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. It was very well written.
How did you come up with that voice? I remember that movie. I remember it from when it came out. I remember it. I remember walking out of it thinking that, oh my God, Val Kilmer. You know, the whole. You ended up getting what, whooping cough or something, right?
The dialect came from a friend of mine who's, I think, the best dialect coach in the world, named Tim Monick. And I called him. I said, you know, he's an aristocrat, and they all died, right, from the Civil War. I mean, virtually all those families were gone. And he said, yes. And I said, so it's a dead dialect? He said, yes, nobody talks like that anymore. I said, can you find one? He said, yeah, I got a guy. And the original, the tape that he sent me, the man spoke so slowly, we could have a baby before he finished his story.
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
And some of my friends who've shown their love.
All right, Lunger, you go to hell. I'll put you out of your misery.
Say wham.
Johnny, don't! No, Johnny, whoa.
Top Secret was my first movie, a slapstick that's right in the category with Airplane and Naked Gun. They're actually sold together in a package. I was Nick Rivers, the rock and roll singer. I am invited to a cultural festival in East Germany, but I accidentally become involved in a resistance plot to rescue an imprisoned scientist. A spoofy movie. In Real Genius, I was Chris Knight, the Einstein of the 80s. Real Genius was like Weird Science, but we weren't creating the perfect woman. We were in engineering college and teamed up to stop our professor from turning our project into a military weapon. And then came my most fun role, which Tom actually had to beg me to take. At first, I was hesitant to be Iceman, but I was convinced to. My character and Tom's may have hated one another, but in reality, I've always seen Tom as a friend. It was fun to hate Maverick, though.
That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe.
That's right. Nice. Man.
He's very special.
It's our set.
Willow was a different movie, but highly special for me. Directed by Ron Howard, it co-starred my first wife, Joanne Whalley. In Willow, I'm Mad Mardigan, a young farmer who is chosen to protect a special baby from an evil queen. Some see it as a top character of mine. In 1991, I played Jim Morrison in The Doors.
Girl, we couldn't get much higher. Yeah!
It's nice to be able to talk with you here in Los Angeles about The Doors, because we all have been anticipating this film now for some time, and I must say that your performance is absolutely dynamic. But if the Academy doesn't remember you next year, you know, I think we all should get out there and pick a bucket. What a great performance. Let's talk about the music, because it's my understanding that all the instrumental part of it is actual Doors music. Is that right?
Yeah, they compiled it, and just very, very few things they had to add or redo because the acoustics at that time. And that was the sound in the house when I did the live vocals that we used. So the audiences are hearing the music, and then my microphone is live and they're recording.
Now, some of the vocal, though, is Jim Morrison, isn't it?
No.
None of the singing is Jim Morrison?
I don't know who did those credits, but if I'm singing live, then I'm singing the song.
What you're saying is he was very well-rounded. He was a complete person.
Musicians, as you know, are strange.
Now,
A year after that, I was the FBI agent Ray Lavoie in
Val, the
Thunderheart.
last time we talked here on Cinema Showcase was for The Doors, and now it's Thunderheart, and I can't think of a more 180 for an actor than these two roles.
Well, I think so. I mean, from Jim Morrison, who liked punching FBI agents, to FBI playing one was a delightful switch. Really, I think very lucky that this film came about. Two, because it's the subject matter more current than Dances with Wolves, same nation, in same place, the Dakotas. Very hard film to get made, and TriStar got behind it, and Robert De Niro, who through Tribeca, his new film company, got the budget, and Michael Apted as a director, so very lucky.
And in 1993, I was Doc Holliday, in Kurt Russell's opinion, the best Western of all time, Tombstone.
Your daisy if you do.
Great relationship with Val. We had a special relationship. We just clicked. They were a great group of actors and people.
you were the second Batman in the third movie. Is that how that worked?
Yeah.
There were three Batman movies, and you were the second of the two Batmen in the third film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do about an hour of acting, and then you fall down. Hyperventilate and need oxygen and water. Really was about an hour because it doesn't breathe. So.
Exactly.
After I did Batman, I went immediately into Heat because I wanted to work with Robert De Niro, and
we should note that's the title of the movie. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't get Heat. I was in Heat.
The police are used to overwhelming power and overwhelming force. They're not used to being assaulted by people who know what they do, and they don't do that well when they are. They use some of the film of Val Kilmer firing forward, firing back, and then doing a reload. They use that at Fort Bragg. 95% of you will not be able to fire as well as this actor.
Wow.
You know, so this was the...
Michael Douglas, Val Kilmer, The Ghost and the Darkness.
Okay, it's Ghost in the Darkness.
And you say this is a true story?
It is an absolutely true story.
In the mid-1800s when it takes place?
No, turn of the century, and it's a true story of an Irish engineer. That's why I play John Patterson, who went out there to build a bridge for the British government and was stopped by these two lions that ate over 135 of his fellow workers. We say it in the movie, but everything that happens in the story that is unbelievable happened. It's all true, which makes it that much more extraordinary.
Did you hear that story from the first time you went?
Yes, I actually read it before I went, but I was just interested in all of the great adventure stories, and this is probably the most famous hunting story because it's so bizarre and extraordinary.
And did you pursue doing this movie, or was it just the luck of the draw that you got the part?
Well, my agent knew from other books that I've optioned, and I'm writing a story that I've been writing for about 5 years on and off that takes place in South Africa, another true adventure story. So he really was looking for an African story for me, and so it came together. It was great.
Go back! Go back! No! Go back!
And then after that, Island of Dr. Moreau, because I wanted to work with Marlon Brando. I think just gaining popularity was something Michael Douglas helped me to understand, although it's kind of saddening, but he said really it's a compliment if you get, they don't write about people they're not interested in, so. The smallest man in the world was in this film.
Really?
Yeah.
In the Island of Dr. Moreau?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This guy is like 26 inches or something?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Just about this tall.
Wow.
Actually, someone told me that there's a life-size photograph of him in the Premiere magazine somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Actual size.
Well,
yeah, it was a fold-out.
Yeah.
So, serious. So, I took a job called The Saint, but that didn't go anywhere with her.
Right. Now, The Saint, tell folks what that is.
That's a movie.
Right.
I did.
Enjoyed The Saint very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Do you like it well enough that you would do more of them if they asked you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so this was a good choice to do this instead of another Batman.
I think so. I mean, to have no regrets. The things that I found appealing about it, or the audience is finding appealing. We've been doing a lot of screenings. He's a literary character, comes out of 60 books, as opposed to a comic book, which I very much enjoy, but there's certain kind of rigid rules to that kind of a story. And I like the freedom in this, very immediately appealing to play a character who enjoys playing different characters, having fun with people. He's a thief, so he enjoys stealing, just the energy of that. He's like a workaholic. He doesn't really take any breaks in the story, and it kind of runs at a breakneck pace, but then he meets Emma. Lots of different kinds of things to enjoy.
But difficult childhoods, I believe, make the most interesting adults.
He's tireless when it comes to finding new, original ideas in a script. There's not a lazy bone in his body, and that's something I really respect. He's really an incredible actor.
Every moment with Val Kilmer was a joy. He is undoubtedly one of the great actors of his generation.
You can be my wingman anytime.
You can be mine.
The only reason I'm here is you.
And for him to come back and play that character, he's such a powerful actor that he instantly became that character.
Such a great guy and such a wonderful spirit, and had such, he and Tom's friendship was just really incredible.
The Navy needs Maverick. That's why I fought for you.
Dream team.
It's very exciting.
Thanks to our guest host, Dave Chappelle, and rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Please subscribe for many, many more entertaining historical moments, sports history, and documentaries. Thanks from House of Heroes.